Hi, happy Thanksgiving. I don't think anybody's gonna even see this or watch this, but I'm having such a good day and I got a lot of chopping to do. So I thought I was about to put my camera away in the light and I was like, why don't I just shoot a video while I'm chopping? Just in case someone wants those Thanksgiving vibes, if you're by yourself or if you're in the kitchen too and you want some company, then we can just cook together. So I'm having such a good day. I started my day with David Gettleman's Thanksgiving gratitude meditation. He does really good meditations. He's on Insight Timer. And then I went to my friend's house and she gave me this cute little thing. Isn't that sweet? They made these. And now I'm making our dinner. I need to make sure I don't have to edit that much on this video because I definitely won't have time for that. So if it's a little unedited, give me some grace, please. And also, we're just chatting. So I'm not tutorialing you or anything like that. We're just chatting, but I do want to share with you what I'm making. First, I have my green smoothie because I am going to be eating stuff that I don't normally eat today. So I have my giant green smoothie and now I'm having some masala chai. It's got caffeine in it because now I'm corrupted by tea runners. They sent me some of this amazing salted pumpkin caramel tea that's black tea. Cardiologist said I can have caffeine, but I still wanted to not have it. And I tasted it and it was so good. It just kind of got me back in. I even ordered more for Black Friday. It's so, so, so good. So today I had this, and plus I had all this tea and a lot more than this because I stock up on stuff like this when it's on sale. This is organic black tea. And so I made this masala chai, which I did get some decaffeinated black tea to make it. But I had the black tea, and since I'm back off the wagon, but I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm limiting the amount I have of black tea, like the equivalent to a bag a day again. And I haven't been having that issue. And maybe it's because of the magnesium, maybe it's because I know it's normal and it's okay, maybe I'm not as sensitive to it, I don't know. So this is what the remnants of that. So it's so good. I learned how to make it in an Indian restaurant years ago. This is the tea. These little things are great. This is a great thing to have if you like the loose leaf, which I do. And then there's just some ginger, cardamom, and cinnamon. So good. And then I use this. It's like a treat. It's like a special occasion thing for me. So good. So I had my smoothie and I'm having that. And now I don't know when we're gonna eat, but I'm just taking my time and just enjoying this. Because one of my favorite things about Thanksgiving is the smell of the kitchen and the whole house. Like it smells like Thanksgiving and I just love it so much. So I'm just taking my time. And this is the tofu I'm making, which is a little different this year. I usually do like an orange maple glaze, but I got a hold of this stuff from Trader Joe's. It's called Everything But the Leftovers. So good. I did not know about this until this year. It's like Thanksgiving in a bottle. And so I put that on the tofu with a little bit of organic cornstarch, and we'll just see. And I've got more tofu to do the orange maple if I want to, but I've been having this on that salad that I love so much. It's really good and it totally tastes like Thanksgiving. It's got all those flavors. And popcorn. Air pop popcorn. So to me, Thanksgiving and Christmas have a lot of the same flavors. So I think this whole season, I'm gonna be having this on my popcorn while I watch my Christmas movies and stuff. It's really good. And every year from now on. So if there is anybody watching, I feel like I'm just talking to the void. Have you ever seen the movie Night of the Comet? Where they're in the radio station. It's like a cult classic from 100 years ago. It's this fun movie. And it's kind of the end of the world because this comet crashed into the planet. And they're in this, and I think it happens at Christmas time because there's Christmas trees in it. I haven't seen it for a while. Anyway, they're in this radio station talking to no one, but actually there are maybe things out there. And sometimes when I'm doing this, I just feel like I'm just calling out to the void, but I'm still gonna do it. Because if nothing else, I'll have this video to commemorate what a great Thanksgiving how much I'm enjoying making my food. having an extra grateful year because I'm just so grateful for my health and the people in my life and just everything, you know, my cozy house and just the amazing people that I have in my life is really something to be grateful for because it really makes your life, you know. I'm chopping this for something that I don't want you judging me about this, but we're having stuffing because that's our tradition and I make it every year. This is our tradition and I got some local sourdough organic bread and that's my intention, is to have stuff like that. I made everything else gluten-free and everything's vegan, but this is a very long tradition and I'm doing it because I want to have those traditional things in my life. And my body seems to be handling stuff like that. And by the way, Dr. Goldner is not big on the gluten. Just FYI for anyone that's gonna say anything to me about this. Goldner eats it. She eats bread. I think she eats her Ezekiel, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know what other bread she eats, but she doesn't tell people to be gluten-free. But I want to stay mostly gluten-free, but if I have gluten 4 times a year, who cares? And it makes me so happy. And it makes me sustain not having it the rest of the year. If I feel like I can never ever have it again, that's going to be problematic for me, but this works. So I think I may have gotten my celery onion ratio off because I did the whole entire thing. These are the celery hearts at Trader Joe's. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And all I do, if you care, because I'm sure you have your own way of doing this, but it's really straightforward. I'm just sauteing onion and celery together. And then I make a miso gravy. Then I put the cubes in and I use some kind of vegan butter, like Miyoko's or something like that. I kind of want to learn how to make my own vegan butter. I want to learn how to make my own vegan cheese too. Like the Miyoko's makes a really good truffle. It's like a soft cheese, like a brie. It looks like a brie. It comes in a round thing, but there's some ingredients in there that maybe I don't want. And it's really expensive. So I think I'm gonna learn how to make my own. Plus I just really like making my own stuff. That pie is half gone and I'm debating whether or not I want to make another pie. I just don't know how much, like I can be okay with one. I don't know what's gonna get eaten and what's not. So I'm a little bit tempted to make pie number 2. I might do it. Have you seen that movie, Home for the Holidays? I might watch that later tonight, or at least sometime during the season. I probably talked about that before, huh? With the Holly Hunter. That's the only Thanksgiving movie I can think of. If you know of any Thanksgiving movies, let me know. That's not sad. I mean, this one is kind of a tearjerker, but it's also funny. And Jodie Foster directed it. She's a really good director. I think she should do more directing. But I just like that feeling at the end, towards the end of the day. Oh man, these onions. Whew. Feeling at the end of the day when you have that little bit of, oh my gosh, guys. When you sit down with your second piece of pie and a movie or something, or maybe some leftovers from the earlier meal, and you just chill. I don't get full. I don't get myself stuffed. I never do that because I'd rather break it up into 2 little bits because I hate that feeling of being full. It's such a gross feeling. It's so uncomfortable. So I'd rather have smaller amounts. I haven't decided what vegetables to make, but I got some arugula for the salad. I got some of these. I had these in the freezer. I don't even know if they make these anymore. These were from Trader Joe's, the cranberries. Maybe some pumpkin seeds on the salad and maybe like a vinaigrette to kind of balance out all the heavy stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go add this to my pan. And that other pot on my stove is gonna be the gravy. And for the gravy, I usually use, that stuff, it's kazu. It's a weed. It's from Japan, but it's that stuff that you see all along the freeway in some states. And the roots are supposed to be really good for you, and it can be used like cornstarch or arrowroot. I think arrowroot's probably healthier than cornstarch, but that's what I have right now. This is Bob's. It makes it crispy, but the way I have made the gravy in the past is with that kudzu. I don't have any right now. It's supposed to have a lot of health benefits. Check it out if you, I think it's good for, now I don't know what the scientific evidence is. I always take this stuff with a grain of salt because there aren't studies on this stuff. So how do we really know? But it's supposed to be good for all kinds of stuff, blood sugar and all that. Nothing I ever say is medical advice. If I talk about this stuff, never ever medical advice. Doctor research on your own. I hate that I have to say that. Okay, a little bit of this and a little more of this. I wish you could smell it. It's Thanksgiving. Oh, it's so great. I don't want it in my tea though. Okay, so this I'm just gonna have ready, but this literally takes less than 10 minutes in the air fryer. Okay, so I got my cremini. I kind of want to do stuffed mushrooms too. So I'm gonna set some aside for potentially doing that. So I get these little baby bellas and the regular. This is the miso I get, it's mellow white. It's so good, Whole Foods has it. And that's gonna be like our gravy. That and some of this is our gravy, and then we'll put some cornstarch to thicken it up. You can also use flour. And this is like my wine for, this is my favorite kombucha. It's only comes out this time of year, the Gratitude one. It's got turmeric in it. It's so delicious. It just tastes like fall. And that, I just wanted to show you that. I don't drink wine or beer anymore because it's just not worth any damage. And I like that better. So if there's anybody listening to this, tell me about your day. I'd love to know. I'd like to know what you're doing, or what you're grateful for, or what you are gonna be grateful for the next year. I'm feeling very optimistic. I think it's gonna be a good year. I say that every year, but I think it's gonna be a good year. This past year was all right. Well, I don't know. If I had to rate this past year, I'm not sure what I would give it. It's always a mix though. Like it's always a mix. There were some not great things that happened this year, but there were some also really good things that happened. So I think that's life. And so we just hang on to those good things and really focus on those as much as possible. And the thing is if you have good people in your life, you can get through all those bad things. Because that's the thing that really matters in your life. It's the people. That's the most important thing. Whatever you have to go through, and you will have to go through stuff because that's what life is. We're gonna go through stuff. And I think the best way to get through it is the people that you have in your life, the support, the camaraderie is what it is. Because we're all walking each other home, right? That's what we're doing. It's really important to have that. When I was a kid, my grandmother's house. Well, I had two awesome grandmothers, and I was really lucky with the relatives. One of them, well, they both had big families and lots of people around, but the one that I'm thinking about, I got a taste of this, and I wish that life was still like this, where everyone would kind of go to her house, and there was always tons of food and tons of people, and they would just show up. They would just be in and out all day long. And as a kid, that was so cool. And you know, they'd come in with food, without food, they'd come in, eat, play cards, hang out. It was the best feeling ever. It was so great. And nowadays, I just don't think people have that as much. I don't have that as much as I would like that. Even with the awesome people I have, because everybody's spread out and busy. But people were busy back then too, and I think about the conveniences we didn't have back then. So everything took longer, but still there was time for all that. I think no media probably helped a lot. There was a piano, there were cards, there were games, and that's a totally different dynamic from, you know, and I love movies, you know that. I love movies and shows and stuff. Yeah, so we entertained each other, and just being around all those people that you trusted, like just feeling safe all the time. And there were tragedies and stuff that happened and people would talk about them, but everyone had a sense of humor and there was lots of laughter. I don't hear a lot of laughter anymore nowadays. Like, I just remember laughing so hard, my sides would split. And it just seems so different now. Everyone's more uptight, it seems like. Not everyone, but life doesn't seem as lighthearted, even with all the heavy stuff. Like, those were generations of people that dealt with World War II. Really, really heavy stuff. And even some with World War I. But yeah, it felt lighter, and maybe it was because of all that, I don't know. But it was just a totally different era. And I'm glad that I got that exposure, but it does leave me yearning for more of that. And I don't know. And it's weird because I'm somewhat introverted. I like people. I'm both, but I'm more on the introvert side because I really like that. I like doing this, like right now, being by myself. I was having a ball, and I enjoyed being at my friend's house too. So I don't know. It's kind of good that I can do both. But even from my need a lot of time alone perspective, I really, really like that feeling of camaraderie, of getting through life with people. And I think we're all missing it now. Even people who've never had it, I think that there's a yearning for it. I just need to get those onions going too, because we're gonna add, that's our gravy. Things like midnight mass. I'm not religious, but I used to go to midnight mass with that family. And the church, like, everybody knew each other. Like, the priest would come to the house and hang out with you. And I just can't explain the comfort that whole scenario gave me, even with all of life's trials and tribulations. And actually, that meditation today, David was talking about how we can use those things, use the negative things to boost our spiritual growth. I don't know, just camaraderie is an important thing, I think. Okay, so I can't do any more with that. What should we do, salad? If you have that kuzu or kudzu, I've seen it K-U-Z-U or K-U-D-Z-U. Sometimes I pronounce it kudzu. And it's like an invasive weed, but it's got those roots. And it's white, and it looks like little cubes of white stuff. And you just put that in a cup with some water and let it dissolve, and then it makes that thickener that's supposed to be good for you. So I'm gonna set aside, I'm so tempted to do a few stuffed mushrooms. I'm just gonna set some of these aside in case I wanna do that. It's very weird to be standing here having a conversation with the camera. It's a little bit weird. Have you ever done it? I really don't think many people are gonna see this, so who cares, right? But I try to make videos like I wanna watch, and the stuff I wanna watch is stuff like this. You know, just hanging out with the people on YouTube, like just certain people talking and whatever they're doing in the kitchen or yard or whatever. Probably more kitchen, unless I'm learning something about the garden. But I noticed that whenever I make a video that's slightly off, it's not as well received. And that's a real bummer because I need to diversify my videos. I can't just make the same thing over and over. And it's very uninspiring to me if I feel like I have to do that. So I like to do different things. Got to be able to talk about different stuff. That's why I talk about movies and not my other interests, my drawing, well, there's a lot of stuff I don't talk about. I've got a million interests, but then I'm hyper-focused on some. I'm really into drawing right now. I do that every night, and I'm gonna have to get the puzzles out too. I've got a bunch of Christmas puzzles. It's just part of my nervous system support, really, is what it is, but it's creative and I like it. And so I've been doing that, and gosh, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I could never be bored. There's no chance I could ever be bored, ever, because there's so much stuff that I want to do and there's just not enough time. But yeah, I made this video where I talked about, it was a long video, long and chatty, right? Because I like long and chatty videos. Sometimes I'm there to see how to do something. Of course, I do that too, but I really just like to hang out with the person. And I've watched videos where the person had a channel, it was about one thing, but then they changed their interests, they kept the channel, and then now they talk about other stuff. I'm so cool with that. I don't care. It's just, we all want something different from our content, I guess. But for me, I understand that people are here because of autoimmune and they're trying to figure out how to eat. And this is how I eat, and this is what I do. But I also need to talk about other stuff because I'm a whole person and not just what I eat. And there's other things that nourish me. And I'm just gonna keep doing that. And the people who don't like it won't watch it. And the people who do will. And it's gonna maybe be a really small channel. I'm okay with that. I just don't wanna get burnt out trying to do stuff that I don't really wanna do. And I'm gonna have a little balance. You know, I'm gonna put in the description slow and chatty. So don't click on it if you don't want slow and chatty. Like if you just want to, this is not a Thanksgiving tutorial, period. For me, I like to watch people in the kitchen and hear them talk about random stuff. It's just comforting, and while I'm doing my stuff too. Like I'm probably just not gonna sit and focus on it, I'm gonna be doing my thing too, but it just keeps you company, and it's getting other perspectives, and it's just a certain vibe with people. And I really like positive stuff. And I like to watch people who are really different from me and, you know, get their perspectives. Just learn different stuff, you know? Oh my God, that is so good. Did I already say I learned it in an Indian restaurant? A long time ago. Went to an Indian restaurant and asked for the tea. I've always been a tea person since I was a kid. I took one sip of this and I was like, this is the best tea I've ever had. What is this? And they taught me how to make it. And I've been making it ever since. I love Indian food. Love it. A little bit harder to have Indian food now with the not eating the dairy. But whenever there's a food I like, I want to learn how to do it. I always ask, like, will you tell me what's in it or how to make it so that I can recreate this, especially if I'm traveling. And then I come home and I make all that stuff. And it's such a fond memory of the experience. And I can just relive it over and over. That's one of my favorite things about travel is the food and learning different stuff and having that, just recreating it. It's awesome. So it's only like 1:15, and I'm guessing we're gonna eat around 4. So I probably want, because I want to time it, the stuffing stays in the oven for like an hour, and I want to time it so that it's fresh coming out, although the leftovers are really good too. I forgot the sweet potatoes. Let's make sweet potatoes. That's what I needed to do. Okay, you can't have Thanksgiving without these. This is one of the best things about Thanksgiving. I'm going to lightly peel the skins off, but not totally. I saw this thing on Twitter this morning that said, you shouldn't think of years with someone. She was talking about visiting her in-laws or family members that were like, 60 years old, and the thought would be, well, they'll probably live to at least 80, so we've got 20 years. But her husband said, we don't really have 20 years. We only have like 20 Thanksgivings or 20 holidays, or, if you only see them once a year, then it's just one time. And I thought that was really an interesting take, because that is how we think, right? You don't really have 20 years. You have 20 times or 20 Christmases, if they live that long, which who knows? And I don't know. I really miss some people this year. Well, I miss them every day. But it's just kind of a fleeting thing. So if you have the ability to be with people, and not all of us do, I think it's great to do that. I really just want a little more of a village life. I think that's how we're meant to be, is a village life. I would like to live in a village be close to everybody, but then also travel and go on adventures, but have that village life, because to me that's what feels normal. I've lived in villages before in my life. To me that just makes me feel human, like that's how we were meant to live. It makes the most sense. Things are accessible, and people, and I have a weird version of the villagey thing now. It's not village, but the relationships are village. And I really like that. But that would be ideal as long as everybody gets along. Then, because I lived in a neighborhood where you could walk to midnight mass, that's so awesome to me, in the snow. I just think that's so cool. And you have like the people from your community in there. I think that's really awesome. or whatever. Like I'm not, you can walk to the temple or whatever, you know, you Buddhist thing, whatever you are, like having that community place where you go to have that spiritual vibe together and everybody's kind of in a like mindset about their spiritual growth that way or whatever. I kind of feel like that's a important part of life. Like even if you're not religious, you can still have that. I'm cutting these up kind of like fries. They don't have to be like this. Sometimes they're more just like chunks. I'll show you how I normally do it. So this is how I like it. And then we're gonna put the maple on top. So I put a lot of this cinnamon, and then it'll steam and then cook. Okay, so there's that. I don't put the pecans on until the end because I want them to be kind of toasted on top, but I'm gonna cover this and cook it. And I think we have come to a stopping point. I'm totally grateful for you, and I hope you have an awesome Thanksgiving. I'm having an awesome Thanksgiving. I want that for you too. Even if it's just a cup of tea and a Thanksgiving movie. You can watch Home for the Holidays if you need a recommendation. Where did I see that? It's on Apple, I think. Okay, so I'm gonna go do this, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Anybody that might see this, I don't really think anyone will, but I adore you if you do, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Maybe I'll take a picture of my final meal and post it, but I need to, while this is cooking, I'm gonna go edit some stuff out of this video and post it, and we'll see what happens. But I'm really grateful for you, especially the ones that comment. That means so much to me. I really feel like you guys are friends, and it really means a lot to find out about you and your life and what you think, and just seeing your little avatars over and over, the ones that comment a lot. That really means the world to me. I really love it, and it makes me feel like we have this little tiny little community, and that it's just a great feeling. And I like hearing feedback that, you know, maybe something I said or posted was helpful to somebody. That's the point of doing this. I'm gonna go finish this up. I'm gonna put Gilmore Girls on in the background and finish my chopping, and I'll see you guys super soon. I got a cord for my microphone, so I'm gonna do a live soon. It's so much more fun to me when I'm doing a live, and then I can hear back from you guys. I'll do that really soon, maybe this weekend. And I adore you. Happy Thanksgiving or whatever. Happy Thursday. And I'll see you soon. Bye.